Back. Game 1 was awesome. The early cheese play from Oz, barely thwarted by Polt. Game 2 is going to be on Akalon Waste, and this is one that I think will almost certainly go into the late game.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you. Very easy to take 3 bases. Game is live, we're ready, so let's just jump into game. Oz leading 1-0 over Polt. And Sean, you can go ahead and introduce our lovely players.
Oh, down in the bottom right-hand corner, the champion of last season's WCS, looking for his first win in this series. It's CM Storm's Polt. And up in the top left-hand corner, the unlikely contender for finalists, here to avenge his fallen brother Jaedong from Team EG. It is Oz.
Oz looks so cool.
He really does. Rotterdam looks so cool.
Ah, stop it, Sean. You know, if there's one thing that's been true for Oz throughout his entire career is that he's always been this very promising pro display, and he's been this amazing pro display to watch, but he's not a champion yet, which is the complete opposite with Polt, as Polt has been winning tournaments, you know, on almost every single continent there is, a triple crown winner, as we like to call him.
He only hasn't won in Antarctica.
Which is just a matter of time. As soon as the Penguins figure out how to play StarCraft, Polt will be there to show them how it's done. You know what happens sometimes with Oz is that he plays amazing in the early stages, plays amazing in the quarterfinals, but as soon as he gets to the absolute final stages of tournaments, he fell apart a few times. This has happened in the MLG arenas back then. You could even say in his amazing GSL Code S run a long time ago. Could it be different today? He looked again a little shaky, a little.
Yeah.
Even though he won game 1, which is amazing, but he still looked a little sloppy. And I would love to see him just keep his head cool and play his absolute best. And then, you know, if it's enough, it's enough. If it's not enough.
Yeah.
But I just want to see the true Oz that we've seen throughout the entire tournament.
You know, one of the hardest things to do as a player, I think, is to just wait for advantages. Wait for opportunities. Oz is a player who likes to create opportunities for himself. He likes to, you know, proxy the Stargate in game number 1 to make sure Terran's caught off guard, to make sure that both he and his opponent are in unusual situations, then his judgment can take hold. But we see that Oz really struggles in the even situations, in the standard situations per se, where really you just gotta wait and see if a couple, you know, medevacs get out of position. You have to hope that Polt makes a mistake. And even though that sounds unlikely, all he has to do is make the mistake one time for Oz to win.
I couldn't agree more with you. It feels like Oz always plays with the desire to make something happen. And that's amazing because that makes him such an exciting Protoss player to watch. But there are moments where, especially in my opinion as Protoss, there are just not moments you can do anything. It's just like, all right, Oz, you're going to have to sit back for a little bit. You're going to have to macro up, wait until your upgrades kick in, just build a lot of probes. But Oz always wants to be active, whether it's with 4 units or with 8 or with his entire army. And this is something that can definitely work against him as well. Either way, I think he's a great Protoss player to watch. He recently got 2nd place at Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai. In the final, he lost 4-0 against Revival. He didn't look as the same player as he did earlier that tournament, but perhaps WCS America is his season.
Yeah, Oz has had a number of real heartbreak tournaments recently, but he seems to really practice hard to get back to the spot.
I was worried that it might get a little dicey already early on, but Polt threw down the bunker immediately. So even though he went with the command center first, which is the most economic way that the Terran player can open, he threw the bunker down immediately. So he shouldn't take too much damage from this. What Polt can do is just completely ignore the bunker and run by, but now he already took a little bit of damage. He might still try to do it, and that would definitely be annoying, because if they're going to have to fight out of range of this bunker, Polt is going to have to pull SCVs on the right moment and his Marines at the right moment.
You know, I'm almost never a fan of this play. I mean, the Mothership core is already losing a lot of health. Oz's control, though, is exceptional, but the Mothership core is going to go down. No!
Oh,
no!
That's a big loss for Oz.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That is as bad a position as Oz can be in. And, I mean, Polt has already done a number of very little, tiny moves that has put him way in the lead. He didn't build Barracks 3 before throwing down the bunker. He knows that these sorts of decisions are very dicey. But then in the midst of this, he's also building a supply depots in a ring around his base to spot for those Mothership cores, to spot for the blink place. He's building the tech lab at the most tucked away spot in the back of his base. It's these little moves that are going to make him much harder to scout, much easier to defend his key tech. It's really great play, and I honestly think that Oz needs to go GT here. There it is. He's behind Dark Shrine.
couldn't have said it any better. I do love that you pointed out as well, even though it's not going to come into play this time, a lot of Protoss players do love to mess around with Blink Stalkers on Eklan, and how often haven't we seen Stim is about to finish up, it's like 160 seconds, and then a bunch of Blink Stalkers blink into the main base, there is a barracks here with a tech lab, and Polt is like, that's not gonna happen. And now even though this game it's not really coming into play, I still love that he's thinking about it, because you know that makes a difference.
I mean, it's little touches like this that will make a very standard-looking style of Polt succeed. And this is what we're talking about. Polt is good at waiting for his opponent to make mistakes and exploiting them. And this is what this push is designed to do. You lost your mothership core, so either she has almost no energy because you just rebuilt her, and then you're going to be forced to use an overcharge, or you didn't rebuild a mothership core and you're going to die now. So Polt is forced to use, or excuse me, Oz is forced to use these charge-ins, but his DT Shrine's almost done.
But this is a super important goal here. I love how Polt is thinking. He's like probably like, hey, this was a great opening for me. I guess if this turns into a normal game, I should be fine. What can just throw me back again? Well, Dark Templars could always throw you back a lot. Two DTs, one in the main, one in the natural, would be a disaster. He doesn't know about this pylon, so it could still get pretty rough, but he should have plenty of units here on the top of his ramp, and with the missile turret, he should be safe for now. What a brilliant little move, but key move by Polt.
Well, Oz is trying to bait Polt all the way in. One Marine's going to fall. It's not really a tremendous loss, and we see this Dark Templar gets easily repelled.
This is pretty bad for Oz at the moment. Oz is probably like, so what now? I tried the early aggression, that didn't really work out. Then I tried to go into Dark Templars, that didn't really work out either. I was forced to use a Photon Overcharge when I rather didn't use it, because I know I'm gonna need it when Stim is ready, when the first medevacs are out. That is the phase of the game where I'm truly gonna need it. Now, these Dark Templars are not useless yet. They will be useful throughout the entire game. You can force out a lot of scans. They can be excellent in defending against drops as well. But it's safe to say that Oz is going to be stuck on two bases for a while, and I would love to see Polt throw down the third command center ASAP. He doesn't have to win the game in the next 2 minutes. If he can, that would be awesome, but no need to take the risk. Just throw down that command center.
Yeah, Polt's got to be careful. He almost knocked
Marauder!
Wait.
Oh.
Does he not know?
Bad luck, Brian the Marauder.
Yeah. Well, if we click on the rocks, we can see if it has a kill count. No. It doesn't register yet, but
just a matter of time, Sean.
Who knows what Legacy of the Void will bring.
I'm excited already.
This push moving forward. Blink's not done yet. I mean, I think that Polt knows how far behind Oz's tech is. Polt's going to step forward.
He has a Photon Overcharge.
The opportunity.
Oz is going to need some good force fields.
Oh, he loses a medevac, or loses both sentries. I mean, Polt controlled this perfectly.
Colossus is about to spawn, and that Colossus could be a game changer. Where is it going to spawn though? I love how he's clicking furiously with the rally point. Oh no. My god, it's unpowered! Every
little edge is what Polt is all about. Oz is going to try to take another opportunity to sneak in with a DT, and it will not work. I mean, Polt is so smart with little things. His rally points, never mind. Polt messes up such little things. There's the DT waltzing right into the natural expansion.
Oh, this is kind of nice. This is going to slow down Polt a little bit, because he's going to be looking over here. Ooh, killing Dark Templars with his SCVs. Well, I guess it works. It's a little risky. Few SCVs did fall, 4 of them. Blink is about to finish up, but we have 1 Stalker, so it doesn't really matter that much yet. No more Photon Overcharge. There are no sentries to protect the Colossus either. Thermal Lens is not ready yet. Oz is going to need a small miracle to survive and keep this Colossus alive.
Without range, the Marauders can easily target fire down. The Zealots are absorbing massive amounts of damage, and it looks like Polt isn't even going to be going for it right now. He's just trying to target every unit he can, but Polt's still getting more and more of a lead. I mean, what do you do as Oz here?
Oh, Mothership Core is a little bit out of position. There are not too many Marines, but there are enough of them. A couple of Marauders will stem in and pick off 1 Colossus. Gonna get so close, but 1 will fall. At the cost of 4 Marauders, though. But picking up that Mothership Core is so brilliant, because now the follow-up push, as soon as Polt is able to muster out a few more units, that's going to get a lot harder for Oz. He was about to have another Photon Overcharge, now he will not. I think he's going to start working on these rocks with the Dark Templar.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was shift queuing his DT in, and it looks like the DT is going to waltz right in again, as Polt is distracting himself trying to micro at the front. So yet again, Oz is getting some nice opportunities.
Army Supply there is a very nice lead for Polt, but Oz is doing a reasonable job with these Dark Templars. If only he had that Mothership Core now, that would have changed everything up. He has 7 Zealots. They will be able to absorb quite a bit of damage. 2 Colossus have great DPS. This is going to be a tough hold for Oz, but it might be possible.
Great blink back control by Oz, pulling everything back, having his blink stalkers on that right flank. That could not have been controlled better. Fantastic moves by Oz, who's now looking to do some counter warp in action. As you were saying, the Dark Shrine isn't just useful for the rush and just useful for map control. It's going to be useful all game long for any counter warp in.
2-2 is on the way for Polt, as we can see. Oz is on 1-1 upgrades as well. I think it's safe to say that Polt has given up on his aggression for now. He wants to get a few more medevacts out, then maybe start doing some multi-prong aggression. Oz is still forced to be in 2 bases. He's sending out a probe now, but he doesn't really have the army to properly split it up. It's going to be so hard for him to effectively split up his units, as he has so little of them.
And Polt, this is where he begins to get the big edges. He's throwing down 3 extra barracks to just blast his opponent down the front, not messing around going for ghosts or any of that other cutesy stuff. Nope, just going to be doing direct attacks at the front. But as we see, this is one of the best maps for Oz to turtle on.
Wow. And look how cost effective Polt has been throughout the entire game. 4,600 resources lost for Oz, only 3,000 for Polt.
Jeez.
For people wondering, like, maybe he should have got to Storm a little bit quicker or High Templars. It's just very hard. He just never had the gas for it. Without a 5th and 6th extractor, he might be able to pick off Viking here. He has to be so careful though. There are a lot of medevacs here on the north side. He has a couple of units here, but I don't think that's going to be enough. He needs a few more.
I mean, where do you position the Stalkers? You need to pick off Vikings, but you also need to deal with this drop in the main. This is where Polt excels, is these huge Doom drops, and it looks like everything is going to go to the main to defend it, and the natural expansion will fall.
Nex is taking a lot of damage. Oz trying to split up his units in the best possible way, but he will lose this Nexus. At the same time, this drop is still active in the main as well. So many probes have fallen. This Forge might even fall, so no +2 upgrades either. Fantastic drop here by Polt.
2 Nexuses for the price of 1. Polt will take that deal any day of the week. Snipes it down, and will hop back into his comfortable, luxurious medevacs to head back home. Oh! Nice final shot there by Oz, and if we look at the army supplies, wow.
We don't have to look at the army supplies, as Polt will win game number 2 here. Just nothing really went Oz's way this game. He tried it was a risky move early on with the Zealot, with the Stalker, with the Mothership Core. It can work out great if you're able to pick off